Welcome to Daytona International Speedway here for the Hoosier Racing League. Here, their opening race tonight at Daytona. Like I said, drivers are currently in their qualifying right now, so it will be a little bit until they get back into it. Just a little bit, not very long, though. I will pull up some race info here very shortly for y'all if I can figure out which button I'm trying to press here. But that was the end of their qualifying right there, so we should be able to pull up some race info here. So Daytona, almost a 2.5-mile track, 100 laps, but the qualifying grid will be up on the screen right now here. You hide that race info, then bring that back up. So first, Matthew Smith, second, Derek Heitman, third, Chris Davis, fourth, Anthony Monroe, fifth, Carter Hansen, sixth, Shane P. Davis, seventh, Randy O'Quinn, eighth, Jordan Stencil, ninth, Nicholas Atwood, 10th, Jeff Crosby Sr., 11th, Devin Lane, 12th, Tommy Mitchell, 13th, Riley Lambert, 14th, Matthew Cummins, 15th, Alan Martin, and 16th, Joe Letourneau. Hopefully I said that name right. Probably said it wrong. Not very good with names, so I probably did say that wrong. And if I did, I'm very, very sorry about that. But do expect some pit stops will have to play out. Factors, I don't know what their fuel load is, but fuel, really you don't need to take tires when you come down pit road. It's really just fuel more than anything else when these guys come here. We'll have to watch when do guys decide to come down pit road. You want to have a partner with you. If you can really have 3 cars is what I've seen to be the kind of the magic number for Daytona. You get 3 guys that pit with you, and you'll be kind of golden at that point. Wait for all these guys to grid here. Give them at least a paint refresh again. I like to do that to make sure their sponsors are showing up because I can't load the paint in until they grid fully. Wait on 3 people: Riley Lambert, Randy O'Quinn, and Jeff Crosby to grid currently right now. Still waiting. There's one more person. So waiting 2 people, O'Quinn and Lambert, still haven't gotten in. Waiting on Riley Lambert here. Looks like he will actually miss the grid. He will jump to the pits instead. So that means I will give everybody a paint refresh now. You will see their paint disappear. Then it will pop back up on their screen as Trading Paints grabs their paint schemes and loads it in. Some familiar faces in here, though. Shane Davis and Chris Davis, I run in. Well, we're a part of Team Watson Racing, and I'm also in a Discord with them. I know them decently well, so kind of cool to see those guys in the race here, that's for sure. We're going to see a lot of cars kind of group up. Looks like it's mainly Chevy. It's a kind of an even split with manufacturers. We'll probably see a lot of these guys. Now, these Fords are going to have an advantage at a track like this with that flat front end. They can really afford to push. Chevys can't do it as well because their nose is a little bit more pointed. Toyota's a little bit flatter than the Chevys, but they're not as flat as the Ford, so this is where Fords really shine. But in the real life, it was actually a Camaro of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. who just won that race. I was hoping Kyle Larson could win it, but just how super speedways go. You never know what's going to happen 90% of the time. And sadly, he ended up getting involved in that last lap wreck. It was just clipped by Travis Pastrana, but that's how that racing goes sometimes. Very high IRs in here, though. Derek Heitman's above 5,000. Chris Davis above 3,000. Shane is at 4.4K. You got some other guys that are kind of sprawled throughout here. Very new driver in Matthew Cummins. Lights are off on the pace car here. It will pull off this time by. Starter's going to have the flag in his hand. And the green flag is underway in the Hoosier Racing League. All right, see somebody in the wall. That's going to create a caution. That's the 82. If we just clip somebody, there's actually no caution that's brought out. That was, who was that just came off the wall? Somebody pulled it off the wall, and I'm not sure where they went. That looks like it was not, it wasn't Matthew Cummins. Who was that just came off the wall? Car disappeared, but it's Chris Davis up front, Derek Heitman and Shane Davis up here. Who was that? That actually may have been... We're actually going to go back and watch what happened here. Who was that came off the wall? Yeah, that is the 82. But the 82 is not stamped correctly in this race. He actually disconnects, it seems. So that's why I wasn't able to see anything after that fact. But Chris Davis, he's going to lead this third lap also. A little bit confused by that there. I did not understand that. See Derek Heitman working the bumper of Chris Davis. His brother Shane is behind Derek. Guys are pretty much going to run just single file probably for most of the race. Now these guys that just, who was this? So it wasn't him. I know that these guys back here are looking for cautions though, because they're going to need one to get caught back up, because they are probably not going to catch them under green. If you do not have a drafting partner at tracks like this, you are in a difficult position. The gearbox of Chris Davis here, actually see what he has to look at. See, once Derek gets on Chris's bumper, he really doesn't let him go. He kind of just bump drafts him the whole way through. I mean, he's pushing pretty hard for this being early on. He's not really getting off his bumper at all. Guys just staying glued to each other. Back here, these guys need a caution. Still want to know who that was that came down and hit somebody, because I still have no idea who that possibly could have been. I have to say, it had to have been Anthony Monroe, but he did turn a lap, so it might have been him who did that. Everybody's kind of playing a big game of snake right now, following each other. Wherever Chris goes, Derek goes, and Shane goes, and Carter goes, and Jeff goes, and Devin goes, and this is kind of just, everybody kind of snakes their way through it. All just trying to chase that rear end of that person in front of them so they can stay lined up pretty good and even with them. Want to be able to maintain as much draft as you can, and tucking in behind somebody is the only way you can really do that here. To have a paint scheme similar to what that 15 of Jess Crosby is running. It's, however, a Mark Martin inspired paint scheme and has a TWR logo on the side. Bringing up Team Watson Racing, use code WATSSPIN39, that is WATSPIN 39 for 5% off your purchase of anything of their website, iRacing Setup Shop there. They have a subscription package that you can get about $2 off with that code. Not a bad idea if you want to do that. That subscription package will get you the A, B, and C setups for the tracks there. Also, and looks like we got the 47 of Devin Lane looking like he's trying to get a run. He's just going to tuck back in. He needs to get up to the bumper of Jeff. I wouldn't want to come off very far. I want to get up pretty close to him, because you get off a certain distance and that car just really, you just can't stay on the rear end like you need to at all. They have this little second group back here. Looks like that's Randy O'Quinn. He might get blown by by Joe Jordan Allen. See if they decide to pick him up or go right on by it. They'll just go right on by him. So that means he'll have to tuck up right behind the 5 of Alan Martin as quick as he can. But as soon as this 5 gets by, he's going to go right up behind the 5. Actually, going to stay on the bottom there. Everybody's going to follow, funnel down to that bottom with him so he can hopefully get the draft. We'll have to see if he can get it. He's 3/10, 4/10. Looks like he doesn't have the draft, and he very well might have just lost it there. Looking at his time right now, he is 5/10 behind Allen, but he is gaining this back in the corner. I mean, this is a one thing about plate racing is you have to stay within a certain distance, and I think he may be fine because his 5's not really holding a very straight line because he's trying to chase that 83 of Jordan Stencil also, and I think that he's got this draft luckily. Up front, it's pretty much about an 8-car breakaway from these guys. Or sorry, 7-car breakaway. These 2 Toyotas are trying something. Nobody's really wanting to go with them, however. Trying to side draft hard on that 15 of Jeff Crosby, and it's not working too well for him. Like, kind of, this is really, it's a 7-car breakaway, but it's more of a 3-car breakaway at the same time because it's Shane, Derek, and Chris that really aren't, they're creating this little gap here, and Carter really can't get to him like he needs to most of the time, it seems. That Derek thought about going around Chris there. Decided not to. This group here needs a caution. We got 3 little groups actually. Let me pull up the track map. You see that rotating up in the top right, or bottom of the top right, sorry. Below all the logos that you are seeing currently. Where these guys are on the track right now. 15's bobbling there. You need to watch it. I saw a lot of guys just start to bobble off the corner. You hit that apron's really slick too. That apron doesn't have a lot of grip. The car's going to want to go around really, really easily there, so they got to be careful about that too. They will run up on, looks like, Riley Lambert. So he's going to have to tuck in behind these guys as quick as he can also. Yes, he will probably do that right now. He's got to get down to the bottom of the track. He does that, see if he can suck up to the 54. I don't know if he is right now. Looks like he's getting a little bit farther away. You have to hope. It's Derek. He is pushing Chris. And there's no doubt he is on the bumper of Chris right now, just giving him all he's got. Which isn't a bad thing, but I don't know. He's really shoving him. Really, really shoving him. Yes, this looks like it's become an 8-car pack now. At the same time as these guys just kind of tucking in behind each other. I have to guess their fuel load is. Not sure what their fuel load is because certain leagues have different fuel loads, so you can't really tell what it is most of the time. But if y'all are new to Ghost Racing Network, if you don't mind throwing in a subscription, that'll help us, and you can always take it back too. If you don't like it, you can always just say, I'm going to take my subscription back. This helps us grow as much as possible. So I can plug this watch up in a couple of days. Got to wear it the whole day today. Got the 29, 25, and the 6 all back here. And this is what a lot of these speedway races become. They get like this, where everybody gets spaced out. They start just running nose to tail with each other, and then it's just kind of, it's just it from there. Now, if a wreck happens, then they're probably going to collect everyone else. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But Daytona does have the big ones happen every now and then, so I would not be completely surprised if that were to happen at all. So we have a 4-car pack. I think I've already looked at that one. Behind these guys, yeah. Stencil, Martin, Joe, and Randy. I'm surprised Derek is shoving as hard as he is. He's actually getting Chris's rear end a little bit upset. Chris, every now and then, he's kind of shaking, or not really shaking around, but you can kind of see a little bit of a wiggle coming into the corners because he's being shoved so hard. So that'll play a little bit of a factor in a little bit later in the race, because I know if you get shoved hard, as these tires wear, the grip starts to go away, surprisingly. So they'll have to watch for that. This group is catching this pack up front here, though. So probably only about 5-ish more laps, I'd say, that they'll have them caught and probably passed relatively easily. Like Chris points out, he comes back though. Wondering where he did. He pulled a little Houdini and disappeared on us there for just a second. Now they're running up on, looks like, Tommy Mitchell, Nicholas Atwood, and Matthew Cummins here. These guys actually probably need to get a little bit close together too. That's one thing I'm noticing. They're not really close together. They're kind of just keeping a distance. They need to be a little bit more tucked up to each other. These cars can surprisingly cool themselves decently well, especially when you get like a one-person gap between these two. Have to see how this lap traffic affects Chris, how he's going to sort through all this. Looks like they're just going to stay to the bottom line, so he's just going to go to the outside as the 25 goes to the outside. The 29 looks like he's going to the outside also. He stays to that bottom lane instead. Probably a little bit of a late call. So those guys will go a lap down here. 20 laps into the race. Do not know if there are stage breaks. Let me look around for some information here. That is a lot of rolls. Trying to sort through this. I don't see anything on fuel load, so I'm going to have to kind of guess. Now, if it's 100%, probably about halfway is what these guys are going to do. They'll have to come back in and top off. But with them running like this, tucked in as much as they are, they're saving a little bit of fuel at the same time. They can get away with it. I don't know about Derek, because Derek's been shoving pretty hard, so he's been burning up a little bit more fuel, putting that foot to the floor, letting that engine scream that he has under that Chevy Camaro. A little bit of looseness there from Jeff Crosby. I've saw that happen a lot of times to some of these guys, that rear end just kind of wants to just and bye-bye with itself. Luckily he was able to catch it and not wipe out everybody below him. All these guys have gotten to the lap 20 mark. We will take a commercial break here. So while we were away, we did have some pit stops happen. Looks like a lot of these guys that were a lap down came down already, as the 83 of Jordan Stencil is to the grass. The 5 of Alan Martin looks like he just got up on the apron. He is going to spin it down. He's actually on the low part of the track. This can end up really bad. That'll actually bring out the yellow flag here. Did see what happened, so I think he just caught the apron here just a little bit. Let's go from a chase view. I think it's just he just barely clipped that apron. As what to see, right? So Jordan spins, yeah, and the 5 goes to avoid it, and he doesn't even get up on the apron very much. I mean, it's just a small clip at that, but he spins it around on the bottom of the track. He's just going to stay there. He's actually backing up out of the way of traffic, which is a smart thing from him, but caution was thrown just to not make matters worse if something were to happen. So that's going to be the first caution of the race at lap 24. These guys come out of pit road. We will interview probably Chris Davis, since he has been leading most of the laps here currently. Let's give it a little bit of time. Got to wait for them to catch the pace car. As I don't know why I have these keys in my keys in my room, but I do. I was so tired last night. Only had 3 hours of sleep yesterday, and I did a broadcast also. You want to talk about one of the worst things that's probably one of the worst choices I made recently, was doing that. Not the race. It was how tired I was. Oh my gosh. I could not get to sleep either. It was not a good time. Definitely, it was not a good time at all. But this will probably bring, I think everybody, I don't know, the guys that need a wave round, they're going to stay out and get that wave round for them. They're not going to come down pit road, which is a smart thing to do. But everybody that wasn't a lap down will probably come down with them. Have to see how good these guys are in pit road. Don't want to slide through your box late in the pit run, so you can kind of gauge how deep you want to get in. Don't do what the 92 did there. Slid over his box. You see it kind of faded on that left side right there behind Chris Davis. 54 looks like he slid through his just a little bit too. See how good Chris gets out. He will actually get beat out by Derek Heitman for the lead here, but we will bring in the now second place runner in Chris Davis here. So I'm going to drag him into this booth. Hey Chris, this is Bryson Booth. Got a copy, man?
Yes, sir.
Man, so you got passed on pit road, but you were leading most of that race. You know, how has it gone for you so far, man?
It's going pretty good. You know, the car feels good out front. Really don't want to be back in that traffic, so out front is safe.
And so it's early in the race, but do you feel like there's anything you have to do here to win, or is it pretty much just drive like you normally do?
You know, teammates are going to come in handy here. That's Dane and Derek, they're going to come into play here at the end. I think if you've got somebody to go with you, you're going to be good. If not, you might be a sitting duck.
I mean, it's definitely kind of Daytona is a track where you need help, and then sometimes you don't want help because that help can put you in the wall sometimes. But you know, it's early in the race. But man, I will let you go. Hopefully, I'll see you in victory lane, though, man. Good luck to you.
I appreciate it, man.
That was Chris Davis, the now second place driver for a Car Stars team there. Looks like we got them coming back in to top off. Not a bad call from these guys at all. I would have probably done, honestly, the exact same thing as them. Just make sure you have fuel. Just extend your fuel run more. I'm somebody who does this in A opens all the time. If I know I'm on the edge of the window, I'm like, you know, let's pit. And if I'm about 2 laps short, that's when I definitely push the window. See, can I save this much fuel? Because most of the time you can do it. It's close a lot, but it is a possible thing that can happen. Yeah, my back is not in the right mood right now. So these guys stayed out. They got the actually they didn't come. These guys didn't come back down there up here. Most of them probably gonna get a wave around. You see O'Quinn and Stencil. That's a wave around right there. They're just catching the end of the field. That's why it says they're so far back. So they came down pit road. It didn't come down pit road. Sorry, they got the wave around. Lucky Dog was already up here. And somebody has disappeared. That is Carter Hansen. He's gone. Don't know where he went. As there he is. He's popped back up. I had no idea. Oh, no, he's gone again. It's not a good thing to see at super speedways. That is one of the most nerve-wracking things that can happen to a driver. Is you see somebody in front of you start blinking out, you're like, oh, no. Please, no. Because most of the time that ends up with you getting absolutely destroyed. Pace car is going to pull in here, but they'll grab the green on lap 26. Or lap 27 of 100 here. And green flag is back in the air. That was a little bit of a ride around for these guys, a little wrap around. So good old meme there. But looks like, so these guys back here, Chris and Shane, also Derek, are going to have to sort through this little group that they've gotten themselves stuck in at this point. This is one thing about plate racing is, you know, you get back in the pack, sometimes you won't go anywhere because you just get stuck behind somebody and you can't do anything after that point. But looks like they're kind of going through it pretty well right now at this point currently. Trying to shove that 54 as well as they can. It's not working too well for them, but they're giving it a shot, which is, might as well give it a shot. I think they probably want to get Derek with them more than anything else. I think if they can get Derek, they should be fine in that top line. But so if that was right, they can maybe only go about 20 laps on fuel, possibly. That's what I'm thinking on fuel-wise, at least. Don't think they can go any longer than that. Shane looks like he was looking to the outside of that 54. That 54, let's see what the 54 sees from the bumper view of him. Some guys coming down pit road. That's Carter Hansen. Not sure why he's down pit road. That's kind of a odd thing to see there. They had just had a caution, so if he didn't pit, well, everybody had pitted though is the thing. Looks like Shane hops down. He's going to leave Chris all alone with that 54 to do something with him. I don't know if he will be able to accidentally find themselves in a line here behind Derek Heitman. See what these guys can start doing now. They're finally lined back up with each other. Derek's going to go to the outside. He's going to take Chris and Shane with them also. They'll go pretty much to the front automatically. Shane a little bit lacking behind. He's not getting his shove from that 54. So Shane's probably going to try to have to find his way around Jeff Crosby. He's in the middle of nowhere now. He needs to get down to the lane here. I think he's hoping somebody will come to the middle. If not, he's actually probably going to lose everybody else with him. He needs to. Yeah, he might get past on both sides here. No, he actually tucks back in. So everybody tucks into a line now. Lambert and these guys need to get their stuff going here very soon, because if they don't, they'll find out the hard way what super speedway racing is. It's not a lot of friends at certain points in the race. I do want to see if guys do get loose, because one thing with the new update that Daytona has, or not Daytona, iRacing has put out, that top line is loose. These cars are loose off the corner, surprisingly, which is something that I never would have thought at a track like this. Again, congratulations to Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who won. Andrew, I swear, who won the Daytona 500. Derek Leahy, that 47, thought about it. He was like, let's not do that move quite just yet. As I thought that 5 was on the lead lap, I was wrong. Completely wrong, matter of fact. See this? Ooh, this 5. So this 5 is a lap down. He's honestly probably going to get his lap back the hard way, and I don't blame him. Might as well see if it'll work. Trying to get some guys to go with him on the bottom, but this top lane's not really that formed up either, so he probably has a chance at making that happen for sure. Would not count him out of doing that quite just yet. Guys are currently running about 47, 48 second laps right now. About high 47s. We don't have any 46s. We have a 49. But that is with Carter Hansen in the middle of nowhere in no man's land is the reason for that. I feel for him. I know how that feels all the time. You kind of just end up wondering, where is everybody else in this race? And then they'll come blowing by you later on. Or less, which is kind of surprising there, as looks like had a little bit of a disconnection from OBS there. So again, sorry about that. OBS disconnected from YouTube there for half a second. Don't know why it did that. That was odd. So this bottom lane is pretty equal overall with each other. Nobody's... I mean, they don't really have numbers down there. These numbers are just kind of switching out of it. I don't think this backpack that you see right here will be able to catch them. Because they're just not lined up enough. That 25 is not close enough to that 50. If you give him a shove, that'll get him up there. And that's really what he needs to happen, as we got the 47 and the 5 goes into the wall. That'll bring out the second caution here. As, oh, he gets pelted by the 50 of Riley Lambert. go back and see what happened. The 47, did he get touched before he got to the 5? That's going to be close. Did he get sideswiped by the 54? We're going to have to go back and see. Go from Devin Lane's rear. So, it's close. As, yeah, he got tapped from the 54, and that put him up on the wall. Then from there, see the 50 tries to avoid it, and he just goes right into him. Probably may have bent the toe leak on Riley Lambert's car. We'll have to see. Nope, it's actually somewhat straight. That is surprising. Not broken yet. That being said, I said yet at that point. So that'll bring out the second caution. Lap 37 here. So I have an old ball of gum in here. I don't know why I have this. I need to throw this away, but do expect everybody to pit. Get on the same pit cycle. You can honestly probably take tires here. Actually, most of them took tires last time. So probably fuel only for most of them. Damage will be fixed. You'll see guys that need a wave around, stay out. Not many of them need a wave around though. Need to pop this in. As the life of an athlete, you're always tired. 24/7. I'll tell you all that much. My body hurts. Everything hurts on me. Who cares? Everything hurts. As looks like Heitman, he'll come out first. Davis second. Sorry, Chris, and then Shane second. So we'll actually snatch Derek Heitman and bring him up here. Hey, Derek, this is Bryson Booth. Got a copy, man?
Hey, Bryce, what's going on?
Man, so you're leading this race 38 laps in. You know, how comfortable do you feel knowing that you have teammates behind you right now?
Oh, I'm extremely comfortable. We're just riding game plans to control the race and see how we end up.
So do you feel like it'll take anything special to win here at Daytona, or is it pretty much just, you know, hope for the best when the white flag comes out?
Let's just hope for the best when the white comes out. Be anywhere but in the lead, really. Try to be P2 if possible, but we got plenty of teammates in here. We're doing a pretty good job running up front, so I think we're going to be in good shape regardless which one of us wins.
All right, man. Well, I will let you go. Good luck to you. Hopefully I see you in victory lane, man.
Thank you.
That was Derek Heitman, the driver of the 76. There we got 76, 78, and 79 all lined up. This is a wave around car that you see in front of them. That is Hanson. He kind of got a lucky break there. Gonna have to cut that ad a little bit short because pace car pulls off here. Derek Heitman, Chris Davis, Shane Davis Jeff Crosby and Jordan Stencil, the top 5 right now. Green flag is back in the air here. Just a little bit of some sound there for you all. Derek Heitman, he will lead lap 40 of the race here, getting close to halfway now. 2 cautions so far, so about 20-ish lap runs is what we're seeing from these guys currently. Somebody is disappearing. Who is that back there? The 54 is scraping the ground with nobody behind him. I'm not sure what that was about. These guys are getting loose. What I just saw from that 15 right there shows me that, or tells me that that car is extremely loose, as he's not able to hold a very steady line either. It's one of the things that I'm noticing with him, as the 97 just went through somebody. Hold on, okay, did I see that correctly? Did the 54 just go through the 90? He did. He just went through the 97, like drove through him. Well, that was interesting to see. See the really 5 drivers having a breakaway pack. Nobody can really get away from them. It seems like once Chris, Shane, and Derek get close to each other, it's pretty much on from there. I mean, you're not catching them from that point on. See, yeah, actually, no, they caught up to him, surprisingly. This little backpack did here. I did not expect that. So, looks like Stencil and Smith were actually able to hold on to him. I did not expect them to be able to do that there. So, they don't lose the draft from this top group, so now it's really became a 6-car group at this point. Hogwarts Legacy. He's getting notifications that people are playing that. Of course, you all... Sorry, just give me a minute. You all cannot see that. I have a game capture on right now, so it doesn't record the actual screen. It just records whatever game is in the background. So Lambert, Quinn, Cummins, Carter is in the middle of nowhere. So is... Oh, sorry. It's actually the 50, the 6, and the 97. So Mitchell's the odd car in here. That's one of these guys that are a lap down. But you see Cummins and Carter nowhere to be found with each other. Atwood is a lap down, but he's in the mix of this. See kind of the difference in Chris Davis driving. He's not up on Derek's bumper like Derek was all over Chris. I mean, when Chris was in the lead, Derek was all over him, about walloping him, shoving him so much. And he's not really doing that to Derek here, which is not a bad thing at all. That's kind of how I drive. I give some guys room now. When it comes time to shove people, that's when I turn it on. I'm probably one of the better pushers at super speedways. I don't give you bumps that are going to send you around. I just really get you going. with side-by-side action here. Stencil and Smith going at it with Shane and the 25 of Atwood. He's going to slow these guys down, so they need to sort this out pretty quickly. Luckily, the 25's able to still catch the draft of Crosby in front of him. I keep on wanting to say Cosby. It's Crosby. They're going to go around this lap car. That is the 47 of Lane. They'll go right on by. They're getting close to halfway as Shane is going to turn the 83 of Jordan Stencil. That should bring out a caution as Stencil's through the grass. He actually saves it. No caution is out on the track just yet, so they will stay green for that. Let's see if the 83 came down or if Shane came up on him. Yeah, that was like that was Shane right there. He came up on Jordan and just barely clipped him. We'll go from a chase view. Actually, it's actually kind of close there. Let me slow us down again. So Shane goes up, stops moving. That almost looks like that's net code there because Shane does come to a complete stop, and then the 83 spins off his nose. So I don't know if that was actually Shane's fault there. That's going to put Stencil in a really weird position now because he's got nobody around him. In the middle of nowhere is what he is. That's one of the worst feelings you can ever have. Looks like that's 25 and the 54 trying something here. They'd see that and they just decide and actually just forget that. They just tuck back in line behind each other. What is I doing? Bad decision for them at all. My back hurts from this chair. This chair's getting old. Not a very supportive chair. Nothing supports me in life. Just kidding. So Derek, Chris, Crosby's just Hoosier Speedway Racing, pack racing. Nose to tail, bumper to bumper. So this is how these races normally go. Don't know how people race these things all the time, but they do, and it astonishes me every single time that they like this style because it doesn't make any sense to me at all. But none of these guys have gone halfway. We will do a in-car view of these top 5 here with no limiter on iRacing here. And so one thing that I heard from a lot of those onboard drives right there was the 25 especially, that right rear is wearing and it's getting loose off the corners. If you watch, he'll probably go up to the top, then off the exit, he'll go down to that yellow line right about there. It should get a little bit loose. He doesn't do it that time, but I was hearing the tire slides starting to happen for most of them. So you've got to be careful with that. If you don't take care of that rear, that tire is going to heat up and get really hot. And once these tires get hot on these cars, that's when it gets difficult because it just tends to get hotter and hotter and hotter. As you see the 15 do exactly what I was talking about. That's Jeff Crosby. Went down to the bottom because he got loose also off of that. Again, if y'all are not subscribed to Ghost Racing Network, if you don't mind throwing in a subscription, that'll help us grow a lot. We are at 481 subscribers, trying to hit 500 by the end of this month. I do think that it is very, very possible, though. Looks like they've caught these lap cars of Stencil, and it looked like Stencil was the only lap car they caught. So Shane's got a little bit of a gap to Chris and Height and Derek. But pit stops, a new pit stop's going to happen around this time. So pit stops happening here. Everybody looks like they get in pretty clean. Nobody nails each other in the rear end getting in. Now you got to have a clean pit stop getting in here. If I had to guess, they'll have to pit one more time at least to make it to the end. Everybody needs to be clean in and clean out. The 25 slid through his box, so that's going to hurt him a lot. Looks like Chris actually got in there a little bit faster than Derek. So Chris might beat Derek out here very soon. Looks like he possibly will. See how fast the jack drops and Chris goes. Looks like it will actually be Shane who beats them all out. Had a 39-second total time on pit road, a 14.8-second stop overall. That was surprising there from him. I didn't expect him to jump like that. Now these guys got to be careful getting back on the track. Saw earlier the 5 caught the bottom, clipped it, and sent him right around. And also a little joke to Shane, if you're watching this, you will never earn your 5K or your 4K IR. It's just impossible for you, man. Just can't be done. Never will be done. Not going to happen. Stencil's in. He's off and away though very, very quickly. As soon as he came in, he was pretty much, yeah, we gone from that point on. Shane just drives by him like he's not even moving at that point. 97 finds himself in the middle of nowhere. Well, the 15 managed to hold on to him, but he's holding on pretty well. He's a little bit over a tenth behind Chris, but he'll be able to suck up to him coming off the corner here. Drivers do tend to get a run off the corner. Is what I see most of the time happen with them. Johnny Heaney. So they're going to be coming up on lap 66. They're a little bit past halfway. One fuel stop, if I had to guess, they'll probably come down. That might have gotten to the end, but they might come down lap 80-ish to top off, get your fuel to the end of the race, and get off pit road. If there is one more pit stop, then that's the money stop. You cannot mess that stop up. I can't tell you how many times I've just barely slid through a box. So looks like everybody has not pitted. Gonna have to have Randy and Carter come in. At least one. Actually, no, Carter's the only one that needs to come in. He came on lap 54. So he came in about 14 laps. 14 laps. About 13 laps ago, but Shane and these guys are running up on him pretty quick, so they'll probably lap him like it's nothing if I had to guess here. While these guys are doing this, we will take another commercial break. And we are back here at Daytona. These guys caught the lap cars, but luckily they got by them. Didn't have really any true issue with them at all. Luckily with that, I saw some guys that have some issues getting by lap cars. It actually happened in the race earlier today. Caused a big pile up. But you see a 3-car breakaway now. Chris, Shane, and Derek Heitman. All nose to tail. This is kind of like an old Daytona thing. When you at the old Daytonas, you used to be able to actually lock, or old super speedways, you used to be able to actually lock bumpers and shove. And when we talk about shoving, I mean like locked together and pushing each other. As Chris disappears, he comes back. So these are all teammates, and the way these guys are running, I mean, there's a very real possibility they could just shove themselves away from everybody and not have to worry about the guys behind them. And if I was these guys, I'd probably be trying to do that. I don't want to have to deal with this mess that could unfold in my rearview mirror. Always better to be in front of everything that happens than to be behind it. I figured that out the hard way over my years of iRacing. Very hard way. Very hard. I didn't enjoy that, I'll tell you that much. Did not enjoy it one bit. See, Derek, he's been aggressive on shoving tonight, though, as this rear group has actually caught him. Crosby was able to catch him. He has had Riley Lambert shoving him, though. Very lucky with that, having a car behind you that will be able to push. If you don't have a pushing factor, you can't really go anywhere. Tell y'all what, there's some weird stuff in the world. Very, very weird stuff. So, if I had to guess, pit stops maybe again within 8 laps for fuel. Maybe lap 80 to 85-ish. Around there. Hopefully, we'll come back down and get more fuel. I don't expect any tires. I don't expect anything else. Now, if the caution comes out, it changes everything. Literally everything from that point on. That is incredibly fast, Ram. Holy crap. I've got new RAM coming in the end of this week. So I'm kind of pretty happy about that. I think my old RAM is finally dying on itself, so it's kind of meh. Tried to get a warranty. Corsair hasn't responded to me just yet, but I think that this is probably a 3-car race now. I don't see anybody being able to touch these guys. It's just kind of drop the green flag and go. That's just what it is so far. Hey man, it is what it is. It is what it is, man. Oh, good jump, brother. So Matthew's back here with the 25. 25 is literally nowhere. Smith is 16 seconds, and that gap's growing also. So he's probably out of the running for this win also. So I hate that for him. I really do hate that for him. We want to see about 5 laps. Pit stop's probably going to happen again. Kind of go back to this group. Actually, not even this group right here. This is Stencil and Cummins. Change is going to blow right by them, man. Actually, Cummins goes in the wall. That almost could end up bad if he would have pulled it off the wall and yanked it down. I saw guys do that countless times, and they just say, "Good luck, everybody." I turn left, and just everybody below him just gets wiped out. I actually about did that to somebody the opposite way. My spotter never set outside, and it was actually during a open race here on Friday. No, not Friday. Yeah, Friday, I think. And talk about cleaning the guy out above me. I mean, I door slammed him as hard as I could. I apologize so much because I really had no idea that he was on the outside of me. I had no notification that he was, and I apologize so much to him. Because I felt so bad for doing that. That's how some of this racing goes, though. So 24 laps left. It stops soon. I just don't know when. It's going to have to happen eventually, though, for these guys. You can't stay out. You can't stay out. That is probably one of the weirdest looking Ram kits I've ever saw. What in the world? I trust that not one bit. Yeah, no, I'm good. So Derek's been shoving the whole race, and I think this could actually come back and bite him. Because one, he's getting hot behind Shane. Getting warm, but he's also backing off. I mean, it's not early, it's not late in the race either, though. So he has the time to cool off, but it's how much do you want to shove? Because he's doing it pretty much he's pretty much doing it the whole entire time is what I'm noticing. Gotta put a limiter back on this. I messed this limiter up here. Hold on. There we go. Sorry about that. Did not want to work for me. So I had to put that back on there and also tried to record the race. It's streaming right now. Don't need to be recording at the same time. Make sure I don't have any notifications on there. So lap cars not being a huge factor. They exist. They're not really hurting them though. Kind of just really. Let me change this again. Let me give it a little bit more room. About 6, I'd say. So this is when the pit window is open again, and I think that everybody's bottom line, nobody's outside. So this is also saving them fuel. They could have also worked it out to where when they came down pit road last time, they had fuel to the end. I don't think they've had a full fuel run quite just yet, to be honest with you all. We'll actually go just a little bit of a gearbox view here on Shane Davis's car. A little bit of a different view there for y'all. So 18 laps left. Intensity's going to start picking up. Drivers going to start peeking their nose out, seeing if they can get anybody to go with them. You don't have much choice for help, really. I mean, you got 2 lap cars behind you. 1 lap car, sorry, behind you. And Crosby. But Crosby has 2 lap cars behind him. Those guys don't have anything to lose. He just got really loose off that corner there. You saw him just shoot down to the bottom. That car just went meow. I guess pit stops won't need to be had. I mean, I thought very well that they were going to happen. But the way they're driving, they're not driving like they have to pit. So it's a possibility they don't have to come down pit road. As we do have some people, Matthew and Joe, are down pit road. Joe's actually been just sitting in pit road. Pretty much called his race. He said, I'm done with this. It's only really 12 drivers on the track right now going around. Around the world, around the world. That's a song. Tell you what, you're broadcasting, you don't have water next to you, you make a mistake. I learned that the hard way one day, to not have, or to bring water with you. The very hard way I learned that. I gotta keep that in mind too, all. Bring water if you broadcast. Bring it. You're gonna need it. To go. Top 3 breakaway now. Shane Davis, Derek Heitman, and Chris Davis. Crosby's kind of dropped back. He's out of the picture now. He's more than a second behind Chris at this point, so he's not being able to get a draft. 6/10 is when you lose a draft in these cars. Most commonly, once you get to that part of the track, that's when it just kind of goes away after that. So I knew they were going to have to pit one more time. So this is what I knew was going to happen. Pit stops are coming down here. And Derek got in there pretty deep. He's actually going to pass Shane on the entry of pit road. So Derek's a little bit more aggressive than Shane. Shane took it a little bit easier than everybody else. He decided, I'm not going to get in there so deep that I'm going to risk getting loose, which is not a bad idea for him. Yeah, these guys get clean off, and Shane will beat him out. So he loses time getting in, but he beats him out. That's what I keep noticing with him. So he's doing something right. So Shane actually comes out. Oh. That's not a good idea. He came out, and look at this gap. This is what's going to be bad. This might be the death of Shane here. He came around with really no help. Man, this is weird now. They're going to catch Shane here pretty quick. They're going to have a big run on Shane, but Shane is in the middle of nowhere. And these two are close to each other. I don't know how that's going to work for these guys. And you got Crosby. Crosby is... Okay, so where's Shane at? Shane is going to get tracked down here very quickly, and I mean very quickly. This little 4-pack of cars here is going to catch him within no time. You see, he might pass him before he even gets to the start-finish line, because he's probably running about 179 if I had to guess. Now I can pull up something that will show me that. Yes, it's not what it was. I know there is something that will show me this in here. That SDK one froze on me, so it actually might have showed it there. So we'll switch over. So you can see right there, he's running 178. Chris 188. That's Heitman, but see how fast Chris is running? 191. So yeah. That's what that does, as they almost wreck each other getting up to him. That could have been bad. Very bad. Very, very bad for those two guys. They've gotten a little bit too aggressive on their shoves there, but luckily they didn't get too aggressive. Inside of 10 laps to go now. Chris Davis on the bumper of Shane Davis. Looks like he's looking. The battery's loose. He was looking up and down, making Chris look in that rearview mirror. Sorry, Shane looking in that rearview mirror. Set of brothers. Personally, I think that Chris is better, or Shane is better. Chris, if you're watching this, yeah, I said that. What are you gonna do? You gonna beat me in a race? This 15, I don't know what this 15 is. He's in a weird position, in a really weird position, because he's not in a bad one, but he's not in a good one at the same time. He's just kind of there. I don't know if Hansen can get up to him in time. Hansen does not need to pit. That 15 has a drafting partner behind him, but how much is Hansen going to shove is a big question. We know how hard Derek's going to shove. I mean, Derek's been up on people's bumpers all entire night. Looks like that stream is frozen there. Sorry about that, y'all. Came back. I don't know why it's been wanting to do that to you all. Luckily, it doesn't do much when it does that. It does catch it every now and then. I may need to clear out some of my Google cache-ish crap. I don't know what you call it, really. Not a lot of movement, though, is what I'm noticing. It's just everybody's just tucked in, being really calm and collected so far with each other. They're not making a lot of aggressive moves yet, which isn't a bad thing by any means. I just didn't expect it to be like this. 6 to go. Within 5 to go, I think this is when they're going to change up their philosophy of how they're racing each other right now. When they come off this corner, it'll be 5 to go. Shane, Chris, Heitman, Crosby, Smith, nowhere to be seen. Probably actually about to get lapped here. As he very well may get lapped before this race is over, where these guys are running nose to tail with each other. This is, you really don't want to be the leader in this situation. You're having to watch your rearview mirror and deal with all this other crap that's happening behind you. And when you got to deal with that, it's not fun. Because you are watching that rearview mirror like a hawk. There'll be 4 to go when they come to the line. Shane leading. He's got his brother Chris behind him. These guys are teammates, though. So see if teammates decide to just push each other to the win, or do they want the win for themselves? There's a big question here. Yes, indubitably. Three to go now. Shane Davis leading. Chris on his bumper. Heitman, Crosby. Only guys that have a real shot at taking Shane off the throne that he's been on so far. It was Chris that was leading the race early, as these guys may catch this pack in front of them, and this could play a big factor. Because if they catch this 6 of Tommy Mitchell, Shane's going to get a draft off of him. Now, Chris right now, he's not shoving Shane. He's just shoving the air on him. But if he gets up on that bumper, he can really affect Shane and how he comes off this corner here, as it'll be 2 to go when they get to the line in the Hoosier Racing League here. See this disappear for just half a second. It will be loaded back up on the screen, however. Got one more time around for Shane Davis. He's got Chris on his bumper. But if we look at how Derek's laying off, he could be mounting a run here. You got to be careful, as white flag is in the air here for the Hoosier Racing League. Shane's looking in his mirror. He sees Chris, and he's like, oh, gosh, this is going to be bad. Derek's backing up to Crosby. This is what he's doing. He's trying to get a run. He's trying to get a run off the bumper of Chris. If he can get a good shove from the 15-2, this might put him side by side, but the side draft is going to come into effect here. Off of 2, it's still Shane Davis leading. He's got his brother Chris behind him. If they catch the 6, what's this going to do? Derek Heitman goes to the high side. Shane's going to throw a block. He's going to block Derek. What's he going to do? Chris is going to go to the bottom. Derek's going to inadvertently shove Shane. When is Derek going to make his move coming out of 4? Going to get right up on the bumper of Shane Davis. Coming out of 4. Chris Davis with the lead. Derek, it's going to be probably at the line here. Heitman goes to the outside. It will be at the line, and it will be... Oh, who is it? Derek Heitman. They tied. It is down to the thousandths of a second. But Heitman takes home the win over Shane Davis. Go back and watch this here. I'm going to slow it down and watch the finish, how close it was at the line between these two guys. I didn't know who won it. You see about right. It's a little bit after, but you can see Derek just edges out Shane. And then he gets a tap from Chris, and that sends him around. But Derek Heitman, he noses out for the win. His steering's broken. He can't even do a burnout if he would want to. But Derek Heitman, he wins the season opener here. A pretty good finish over off those guys. That's a very, very close one. I'm going to have to wait for these guys to pull off the track because it won't give me the race results. There they are, as they were just compiled on the end of the race. Had to wait for them to wait for iRacing to rectify it. You see it right there, 0.006 on Shane Davis. I believe that is a thousandths, hundredths, tenths. Let me make sure, tenths, hundredths, thousandths. Yeah, that is a 6 thousandths win that Derek Heitman got over Shane Davis. Can't even do a burnout because the steering's broke. He's going to try it, though. He'll make it work out. That steering wheel just popped out. That wheel just popped out. Look at that wheel. You see that right there? That wheel's not supposed to be like that. That's a broken wheel. But he's making it work nevertheless. That is a broken toe link for him. As we will pull up the race results, we'll go to the going live soon screen, though, however. Let me drag these guys all in here. Hey, Chris, this is Bryson's booth. Got a copy, man?
Sure.
Man, so you come home third. You know, how did that race go for you from the drop of the green flag to the checkered, man?
The first little bit before that stage, I told the guys I didn't like the lead except for the last lap, and sadly, Derek pulled the move before I could. But overall, it was a good race. We all worked real well together. Just come up a little bit short.
Yeah, man. I mean, you just fell a little bit short. I mean, what was going through your head that last lap, knowing that it was going to be coming down to the line between you two?
Well, I knew Derek was going to be backing up, um, but by the time I realized that he already started backing up, I didn't have any choice but to just keep pushing it out there and hope we had enough to hold him off. But he was just a little bit quicker.
All right, man. Well, before I let you go, is there anybody you want to thank? Any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
Yeah, TWRS, the racing shop is real good, and they always give us good cars. And then just Shane for working with me there, and Derek. So great race to them, and Jeff too. He did a great job.
All right, man. Well, I will let you go. Good third place finish tonight, man.
All right, appreciate it.
That was Chris Davis, the third place driver. We'll bring in the second place driver and Shane Davis. Hey, Shane, this is Bryce in the booth. Got a copy, man?
What's going on, buddy?
Man, so you get edged out at the line 6 thousandths of a second. What was going through your head that last lap?
Oh man, I really thought I had it when I put that block on Heitman there at the end, coming to the line. I thought I'd be able to have enough energy to hold him off, but he laid back just enough, just to enable to clear me right at the line.
I mean, so no, did you feel like you could have done anything different there, or is it pretty much just I'm just going to hope that this works?
I wish I would have hit the apron just a little bit faster, maybe to try to clear a couple tenths. But other than that, I think I was just a sitting duck waiting to see what happened.
Man, well, before I let you go, is anybody you want to thank? Any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
Yeah, I got a TWRS Racing, puts out some super fast setups, even though that we're running a fix tonight. Got my brother, a teammate from TWRS, and also a teammate in this league, Derek Heitman. Other than that, that's it.
All right, man. Well, I'll let you go. Good second place finish tonight, man.
Appreciate it, man.
That was Shane Davis, the second place driver. We'll bring in the race winner and Derek Heitman. Hey, Derek, this is Bryson's booth. Got a copy, man?
Going on.
Man, so you win that race by 6 thousandths of a second. What was going through your head that last lap?
Well, A, obviously I wanted to make good TV. But B, I down the front stretch when we were coming to the white, I made sure to back up as far as I could to the back of Crosby, and I said I'm gonna have to play this as tight as I can to get around these two because they're brothers, you know. So I knew I knew they were gonna end up helping each other as much as possible. So I backed up, and then I got the run coming out of two, and I took it down the back stretch, and then going into 3 and 4, my spotter said clear, and so I cleared Chris. So I threaded the needle and got in, just barely got in between Shane and Chris, and then I said, oh, okay, now I got to push Shane. So I pushed Shane out until I felt like it was far enough close to the tri-oval, timed it right, popped out, and guess I got myself one.
All right, man. Well, before I let you go, is there anybody you want to thank? Any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
Shout out Cody Williams Design for sponsoring me, giving me sweet rides every single week. Shout out to RaceCPI.com, Elite Performance Industries. They've taught me pretty much everything I know when it comes to racing on the sim. And then, some people watching the stream might know this guy, but shout out to Michael Conti, especially since this is last year as a Coke driver, but he's been a great mentor towards me and teaching me everything I know to be successful in iRacing.
All right, man. Well, I will let you go. Good win tonight, though, man.
Hey, thank you.
As that was Derek Heitman, the winner of the race here. I will go over the finishing order. Derek Heitman first, Shane Davis second, Chris Davis third, Jeff Crosby fourth, fifth, Matthew Smith sixth, Riley Lambert seventh, Nicholas Atwood eighth, Randy O'Quinn ninth, Carter Hansen 10th, Jordan Stencil 11th, Matthew Cummins 12th, Tommy Mitchell 13th, Devin Lane 14th, Alan Martin 15th, Joey, and 16th, Anthony Moore. Not a bad race overall here. Would pull up the results, but I do not have a ability to do that right now. But I would normally roll an ad, but I will actually just let you all go here. The stream will continue for a little bit just to make sure it rolls out, but hopefully you all have a good night.